When you think Super Mario these days, you think about the short, cutesy, cartoony guy with a mustache. But back in the 90s, it seemed people had a different idea about him, and after watching the 1993 movie, I was surprised to see what Hollywood saw back then when someone mentioned Super Mario. Super Mario 1993 is an alternate universe Mario. It's like if Super Mario was in The Last of Us meets Cyberpunk 2077. It's more like John Carpenter's Super Mario escapes from the Mushroom Kingdom. It's interesting that they made Super Mario such a kid-friendly thing after this movie. Maybe they had to pivot from this more realistic take of Mario because the movie flopped and because Crash Bandicoot and Sonic was about to kick some Nintendo butt. Anyway, welcome to my series where I look for the greatest video game adaptations. Yada yada yada, let's get on with the review. First off, kids in the 90s must have been weird if movies like this were catered to them. It's disturbing and dark like a lot of other kid-centered media from that time, and Super Mario 93 fits perfectly into that weird movie genre of kids movies like Small Soldiers, Indians in the Cupboard or Never Ending Story. In this movie, it's the late 80s, early 90s, and somehow in the Super Mario universe, the mafia is great at plumbing or looking like plumbers. The plumbing mob are Mario and Luigi's biggest rivals in the world of wet wrenching. So plot happens, two of the bad guys' henchmen steal the princess and the Marios decide to help the princess, and they all isekai into what looks like Tim Burton's Mushroom Kingdom. Why Batman didn't show up to help, I don't know why. Princess Daisy lives among the humans in the human world, even though she came from an egg, which for a couple of Christian nuns who apparently raise her, that isn't weird at all. And then the movie wants us to believe she falls in love with John Leguizamo. Yeah, not Mario, but Luigi Mario. She can't go for Mario because somehow Mario already has some woman. In the alternate universe, the Marios meet who I assume is supposed to be Toad the mushroom guy, who's a hippie that likes to sing for some reason. But they get taken to jail because they have the gimmick the bad guy wants, but it was stolen by some rando beforehand. And then we learn about one of the stupidest plot devices ever. A device that not can only devolve you, but can evolve you in an instant into a higher, smarter being. It can make everyone instantly smarter and better, but no one is using it except for some kind of gag. No one is using it to create a better society or to become smart or evolved enough to defeat the big bad dictator of Gotham, Killer Croc. Wait, wrong universe again, sorry. I meant Bowser. Is he Bowser? I don't even know. The device is some kind of time machine if you think about it. There's a button that says evolve on the machine. How does it know what the next step in evolution will be? Magic. This alternate world, by the way, where the isekai to, humans did not evolve there from monkeys, my fellow ape watching this. No, they evolved from dinosaurs. Anyway, the plot is that Bowser or whatever he is, who is an evolved T-Rex instead of a Ninja Turtle, wants clean water because for some reason he is a germaphobe. And he wants world domination, of course. He probably wants to compete with that New York mafia by opening some car washes or something. So Dictator Koopa, the big bad Bowser, wants to go to normal Earth and devolve the humans into monkeys and take over. The Marios run around trying to find a gimmick that does something and gets helped along the way by some slime. Yeah, and then they infiltrate the castle. And of course there is a battle at the end. There's some pointless stuff that happens, like traveling to Earth so that they can prove the evolution gun can devolve humans into chimpanzees, and Mario gets sexually assaulted by a big woman. And then they beat Bowser and it all ends well. Kinda. John Luigi Nini gets left on red at the end because the princess has better things to do than make love to a plumber who doesn't know his way around pipes. I find the character takes they had for this film interesting. Mario is an older guy who raised Luigi in between fixing people's pipes. He looks like your favorite racist uncle who slams away a couple of six-packs watching sports on Sunday. Luigi's character is the opposite of the modern Luigi. He is braver than Mario in this movie for one, and the movie is treating him more like the main character, and that is basically where his personality ends. Daisy is, well, Princess Peach from another castle. She's sweet like Peaches from the modern games. She came from an egg, even though her father devolves into a mushroom. There's a part where she says she's vegetarian. So of course my first thought was wondering if the whole vegetarian virtue single was a thing in the 90s. But then I thought, oh, they probably meant that she evolved from a herbivore dinosaur or a plant-eating fungus. Bowser, or Dictator Koopa, can't spit fire like in the games, and he has some kind of wife person who tries to go against him but fails. I actually forgot about her writing this, as well as the two idiot henchmen who get to go into the evolving machine to get an increase in IQ, but it makes no difference at all. And lastly, there's Yoshi. Well, Yoshi is just a creepy family Labrador. They probably stole him from the Jurassic Park set for this movie. Final thoughts. At the end of this movie, it suggested that there will be a sequel. A sequel to this movie would have been great, really. We could have had Arnold Schwarzenegger as Donkey Kong with a stogie in his mouth and Diddy Kong played by Pauly Shore or something. The movie was kind of fun to watch. I thought there were some interesting ideas, even though all of the ideas introduced in this movie were executed badly. The movie also really lacked some star power between the actors that were cast. The characters and world building are almost nothing like the modern Super Mario universe and lacks any of the charming Nintendo stuff we get from the games. This movie is like if some studio from an alternate universe released one of their movies here by mistake. I'll rank this at a C. It's not a very memorable movie, but it's at least memorable to me in a creepy childhood memory sort of way.